Hello, pilots of the internet. Welcome to Foldable Flight. This is the second video in our series on world record fold and fly planes, and I know those of you who have been around my channel for a long time will get very tired of hearing an explanation of what the world record fold and fly planes are, but bear with me because we're going to be teaching you in this video how to fold Phoenix, which is just an excellent and easy glider. But to explain, the world record fold and fly planes are a collaboration between me and John Collins, the world record holder for longest distance paper airplane flight. Now, we've taken 8 of John's very best designs. I'm talking, planes that literally flap as they fly, planes that boomerang back to you. The world record plane, Suzanne, which flew 226 feet. We've taken all of these planes and I have illustrated papers that when you fold them, they can look amazing like this rather than just a white sheet of paper. So if you head over to foldableflight.com or the paperairplaneguy.com, you can buy those sheets there. Now with Phoenix, you can see this is just a beautiful plane with a design that really evokes the name of the plane. And we're going to be showing you how to fold that, how it flies. But first, let me open up the floor. I'm going to give you guys 3 options to vote on for what the next plane is going to be. So if you want the Tube, Super Canard, or Boomerang 1 to be the next video, go ahead and click in that top right corner and vote for one of those. It's going to be one of those 3 that I post next weekend. And it will depend on probably around Wednesday. I'll check and see what the vote total is, and I'll start working on that video then. So go ahead and vote now, or let me know in the comments if it was one of the other planes that you're hoping to see next. But I will show you guys how this plane, Phoenix, flies, and then I'll pass it over to John to show you how to fold it.
This paper design is great. The airplane design is great. So let's get going here. This is the Phoenix. Start with the paper, mark the Phoenix. If you're just using regular paper, 20 to 24 pound paper works great for this guy. 8.5 by 11 is where you're going. So start with the Phoenix. Of course, the arrow is up, and we're going to make a diagonal fold, which is taking the top of the page and putting it against the side of the page. And that looks like this. Nice, accurate folding. Unfold that. Of course, make a diagonal the other direction. Usually with paper airplane making, what you do to one side of the plane, you do to the other side of the plane. So, no different with the Phoenix here. I always double check to make sure it's coming out just right. I can always make a little adjustment early on. It's tougher to make those adjustments later on. Let's unfold that. And now we're going to do a crease that is a little bit weird. You may have done diagonal folds before, but what we're going to do is take the side of the page, this whole side. If you think of the ends of all the creases as the corners of a square, we're going to take one side of the square and lay it against the diagonal fold. You can see that there's a little bit of guidance here for you. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the how lining the layers up. If it works well, great. If it doesn't work all that well, don't sweat it. And so you can leave that one in place, and we can make the other fold by moving this corner down to where the end of this crease is. So if you just move this guy across like that and plant that there, the rest of that should line up fairly close. And again, so you can see it's a little bit off here and more closely there, but don't worry about that part yet. That's not a big concern for you. So the next step is to use this crease right across there. We're just going to fold that straight down, right across that crease. Looks like that. And now flip it over, and I'm going to rotate it as I flip it over so that the nose is now pointed that way. This is the raw edge back here. So I've just started here, flipped it this way, and rotated it so that the nose is pointed left. Now we're going to fold it in half right down the center of the plane. And again, don't worry about lining up these corners. You want the rear corners and the front of the plane. Make sure you hit that cleanly. The front of the plane and the rear corners is where you really want to worry about accuracy. And let's zoom in here a bit. Double check focus. And now we're going to take the short edge on the front and move it right down to the bottom. And we're going to flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Looks like that. For just a moment here, before we make the wings, we're going to lock all of these layers together, which is really kind of a cool thing about this plane. So open it up. So you've got the layered part exposed here. We're just going to take this little flap and fold it up in sort of a loose way. Don't even make a full crease yet. You can see this area is kind of bubbling or not going the direction you want yet. But just go ahead and let it do what it wants to do there and then remake the body crease. You might have a little bit of an error right here, but if you really stress that a lot, it's going to rip on you. So just treat that gently as you make that lock, and then it won't rip on you, and it'll hold all of the layers together nicely. And the wing crease is unique. I've come to call this the Phoenix wing fold because this is the plane that I used to invent it. And you're going to make a crease that starts at the nose and rakes up as it goes toward the tail. And if you just start moving the paper that direction, what you're going to notice is that as you move it down, you're going to create a little triangle here visually between this trailing edge and that corner. What you want to do is keep going until that triangle just disappears and that edge touches the corner. And I'm going to flip it over so you can see what I'm talking about. The trailing edge is just touching the rear corner of the body of the plane when the crease is in the right place. So that's what you're looking for. If you line up any other edge with the bottom, your wings aren't wide enough and the plane does not have a nice smooth glide. So let's go ahead and make this wing match. Starting close to the nose, rolling over, and just touching the corner there. Let's make sure I'm starting at the same place at the nose. That's real important. And roll that over so the wings match. You usually can tell pretty closely if your wings are matching. You know, these corners back here, pretty important to make match on almost any paper airplane. And just make sure your wings are starting at the nose in the same place. And nail that crease right there where the wings are matching. Now, all we've got to do is open the wings up. You want some positive dihedral. That means the wings are sweeping upward as they leave the body of the plane. That's going to be good. The plane will open up in flight like that. And what you're going to need to do, I'm just going to, as I tilt this up, adjust the focus so I'm keyed in on the back of the plane here at this angle. So I'm going to add some up elevator right here. And this is how you add up elevator. You're just doing a little bend. You don't need to do a crease. You don't need to cut flaps into the back of the plane. This is all you're going to need is a little bit of upward bend. The air will go down to the body of the plane, hit that upward bend and get deflected up and push the back of the plane down, which keeps your nose up. All good gliders are a little bit nose heavy, which allows the plane to gain speed that's lost from drag. If it's nose heavy, the nose will point down as the plane is flying, which is good. That allows you to gain speed that's lost from drag. And then up elevator counteracts that. When it's going sufficiently fast, enough air is deflecting off the up elevator to push that down. The plane, of course, is always rotating around the center of gravity. So if the center of lift is behind the center of gravity, that will push the nose down, and then the air reflecting off the tail at sufficient speed lifts the nose back up. So that's how you get a balanced glide, and you're able to engineer in a way for the plane to pick up speed that's constantly being lost by drag. Drag is just resistance to airflow that the surface of the body of the plane generates. Also, the shape of the plane generates drag. So you need to counteract drag by pointing the nose down, and then once you have a sufficient speed, the plane will level out again. So that stable level flight is this dance between the center of gravity being forward and just enough up elevator to achieve a stable speed so that it's moving down and level at the same time. So that's how a glider works. That's how any glider works. And the Phoenix is no different. There's your Phoenix. Cool looking plane. Great example of a paper glider.